Because Josh Sear provided legal counsel to startups, he was in a unique position to identify the pitfalls of a controversial startup niche, ride-sharing. For the past 4 years, Josh has been creating his own disruptive startup and embarking on a quest to completely flip the script on the gig economy.
With Empower, the driver is our customer. With Uber, the rider is the customer. And so they viewed drivers, I think, a little bit as disposable. We don't have that perspective. I'm Josh Sear. I am the CEO and founder of Empower.
He's spinning an iconic concept on its head and making it better for all involved. Josh Sear and his team are putting transportation decisions back in the hands of drivers and riders with a calculated plan and a strong set of values. What is Empower and the problem it's trying to solve?
Like, in speaking with a lot of drivers when I was using Uber and Lyft, I realized that they were getting absolutely hammered financially, particularly those that were trying to do it for a living. They also felt completely voiceless, and that's a terrible feeling. And I don't think that's what Uber and Lyft intended when they went out to disrupt the taxi industry. But in their race to grow as quickly as possible, created a duopoly that really controls transportation as much, if not more, than the taxi industry that they were setting out to disrupt. And the business model itself just doesn't work for drivers. It's unsustainable. And I sort of asked, what would it look like if we flipped Uber and Lyft's business model on its head, made the driver our customer, had the rider be the driver's customer? And in thinking about it, it just looked like that would be a better solution for everyone. And that's what we've done. And with Empower, the driver is our customer. We don't make a penny off of riders. We get zero from riders. We get all of our revenue from the subscription that drivers pay us. And so if we're not providing drivers with a level of service that they're willing to pay for, they're not going to continue to be our customers. So they don't need to trust us. If we don't do the things that we need to do to make them happy, we're going to go out of business. And that message, I think, has very much resonated with drivers. At the end of the day, I think the larger vision also is just enabling drivers and gig workers generally to have the software and support services that they need to build and run and grow their own businesses. And we wanted to build a platform that put the choice back in their hands. And they've demonstrated that they're more than capable of doing that when given the support and services that they need.
Is there anything that surprised you about entrepreneurship?
It seems backwards, but the more successful you are, the more you prove that what you're doing is working, the more doubt people will have. And really what that's a result of is fear. When you're talking to your early investors and getting them to invest, they start to see the results and they realize maybe it is working and they have a possibility of a huge financial gain. They pay way more attention and they want to be heard and they have doubts and concerns. And really, again, that just stems from fear of the more real the end result of a big win becomes, the more they begin to fear it not materializing.
Josh is describing something here known as foreboding joy. This feeling can hold people back, including, as Josh points out, investors. Sometimes, when you're feeling optimistic about something, even for good reason, fear can override that excitement. And as a Harvard study demonstrates, anxiety and excitement are strongly connected. Managing that fear has much to do with perspective. By recognizing foreboding joy, you have the potential to actually reframe your anxiety into something that could be more helpful.
So I think it's important for entrepreneurs to be prepared for that. At the same time, understand that you understand your business better than anybody. And, while it's absolutely important that you listen to feedback from others, you've got to make the ultimate decisions and you need to have confidence in the decision that you're making. Because if you don't have confidence in the direction that you're taking, it's very difficult to execute upon it effectively if you don't really believe wholeheartedly in the decision that you've made.
What is your number one piece of advice for aspiring entrepreneurs?
At the end of the day, any business is a group of people. And, sometimes I think people with founder type personalities can sometimes lose sight of that a little bit. They're focused on building a product or a service or a company. And you need to remember that the success of all of that is completely dependent on the people on your team and making sure that they feel invested in what you're building together. They feel valued, and that they also have access to the support that they need, that they feel comfortable asking questions and working with their peers. And also work with people who you trust and who share your values is the most important thing.